DOOBIE Act looks to ease security clearance restrictions on past marijuana use, you guys. That's right. Congress members are continuing a push to change how agencies view individuals' past marijuana use in the security clearance and federal hiring processes. A new bill that Senator Gary Peters, a Democrat out of Michigan, chairman of the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, introduced last week, aims to limit how much weight agencies can place on past marijuana use when considering applications for federal jobs or security clearances. In a quote, current federal law allows highly qualified individuals to be denied federal employment or security clearances based on past use of marijuana or cannabis products, despite legalization at state levels. Peters wrote in a press release on Wednesday, this misalignment between evolving state laws, federal guidance, and actual hiring practices has created a barrier for talented individuals seeking federal employment, which could limit the government's ability to compete for top talent. The new bill, nicknamed the DOOBIE Act, focuses on easing restrictions for those who have used marijuana in the past, either for adult use purposes or for medical reasons. Under the legislation, agencies wouldn't be able to deny a federal job application and security clearance application or other federal credentials based solely on an individual's prior use of marijuana. HSGAC is expected to take up the bill for consideration and possible advancement during an upcoming hearing on July 24th. And the proposed changes outlined in Peters' bill, however, are already largely in place at agencies, and both the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and the Office of Personnel Management published updated guidance on the topic back in 2021. ODNI's guidance, while saying that the illegal use of controlled substances can raise security concerns, also says an individual's prior use of adult use marijuana shouldn't be the determining factor in granting a clearance. I find it interesting that they said past usage. And nonetheless, but similarly, OPM's guidance directed agencies not to automatically preclude federal applicants from job opportunities solely based on past discontinued use of marijuana. So they're both in the same page on that. But in a quote, while federal agencies including OPM and ODNI have issued guidance stating that past marijuana use alone should not disqualify candidates, many potential applicants remain hesitant to pursue federal positions due to a fear of automatic disqualifications, Peters wrote. The DOOBIE Act would align federal hiring practices with current guidance on past marijuana use, broaden the applicant pool by providing clarity for prospective federal employees, and help the government compete with the private sector for talent. The DOOBIE Act claims to take the practices outlined by the ODNI and OPM a small step further by codifying them. Ryan Narney, managing partner of the Ladera Ranch, California office at law firm Tully Rinkley, told the Federal News Network in a quote, this bill would just solidify that because right now that's just the guidance within various different agencies, Narney said in an interview, especially intelligence agencies. Even though this guidance came out, they still have stricter views on marijuana use when it comes to that. So potentially codifying this as an automatic bill from Congress might make this so that the guidance that has been in place since 2021 a little bit more expansive, he says. House efforts to lift restrictions in the clearance process in Peters' bill is the latest effort in Congress, but it dovetails with several other members who have been pushing to ease restrictions on marijuana use by federal employees and government job applicants. Last fall, House Oversight and Accountability Committee took up a companion bill to the DOOBIE Act. The House legislation, nicknamed the CURE Act, similarly aims to prohibit agencies from considering past marijuana use while hiring for federal jobs or during the security clearance process. But the House bill, if enacted, would take things a further step by requiring agencies to create a review process to look back at past security clearance and job applications. Agencies could reconsider previously denied applicants based solely on individuals' marijuana use, according to the bill. And the bipartisan CURE Act, first introduced by Representative Jamie Raskin, Democrat from Maryland, and Nancy Mace, my girl from South South Carolina last July advanced out of the Oversight Committee in a vote of 30-14 last fall, but the legislation so far has not been slated for a House floor vote. Well, that's because we got the speaker in there and we need to get rid of him, but whatever. In a quote, the CURE Act will ensure that talented individuals seeking to honorably serve our country are not precluded from doing so simply because they admitted to having once used marijuana, Raskin said in a 2023 press statement following the Oversight Committee's advancement of the legislation. And this article goes on and on and on, and if you want to read the rest of it, you can go on, head over to our website at www.highat9news.com and check it all out for yourself. But I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. And this is Jason Beck for the High at 9 News. What do y'all think?
Well, I think it's great.
I think it's great too.
Dana Rohrabacher back in the White House.
The DOOBIE Act.
DOOBIE Act.
Mm-hmm.
Why we keep on having these dumbass names?
I think that's one of the coolest parts about legislation in DC is their ability to create acronyms that are funny and cute.
But how are you gonna take it serious though? Man?
Then they all
it's
look
the
at each other
DOOBIE
and
Act
laugh.
so that you can smoke weed
Indubitably.
And then they laugh at it and then they just go on to the next issue.
I mean, come on. I'd laugh at everything in Washington.
I mean, that's not true
dude.
because we know that they hide some kind of taxation or some kind of other policy in every bill they write about everything. So they definitely discuss parts
I don't think
of
there's
that.
any taxation in this bill.
No, probably not. But there's something hidden somewhere in it, in the deep, deep pages.
Oh man, that's
Past where we read.
conspiracy theories again.
That's not a theory. Come on, Jason.
Not buying it.
All right.
I think it's about
Well,
time
good, I'm not selling it
they
to you.
disconnected. I think it's about time they disconnected marijuana use and being an honorable human being. Because that's what's at the heart of this. That, oh, if you smoke weed, somehow you can't be trusted, you're dishonorable, you have no ethics, you're a piece of shit. And it's just not true. But the military and cops and, getting security clearances still have this underlying feeling that my mama told me that you're a bad human being if you smoke weed, so therefore we can't trust you in these positions if you smoke weed. It's just nonsense, but it's prevailing still.
Yeah, that's the part that I agree with most for sure is like, especially past cannabis consumption, it's like, oh God, you smoked pot one time, like clearly you're not fit for any of these jobs. So yeah, that makes me feel really good. The normalization and the acceptance.
To me that's a horseshit policy.
Yeah, but it's got a long tradition in this country.
There's lots of long
going
traditions.
back to the Mexican Revolution in 1910, they were demonizing people that were brown in color and smoking weed, and that went to black people who play jazz music. My God, can't be trusted, and we're still seeing that. And it's kind of in the DNA of people who don't want this to happen, that they firmly believe you cannot be a decent human being if you've ever smoked weed. And it's just absolute nonsense, but we continue to see it.
Interesting. What do you think about this, Stone?
I like it. I mean, there's nothing not to like about it, and unless you're Rico and you don't like the DOOBIE name. But
Isn't that a stupid name to not like it?
No, I like the name
where he's coming from. I understand. I mean, some people will instantly turn that off and just,
It's got to come from someone who at some point admitted to smoking one doobie like the summer of '69.
He's a Democrat from Michigan.
You know what I mean? Like,
I like it.
It's cute.
But here's what I'm saying: we have old white men that don't have senses of humor that are running our government. You're trying to push this shit forward with a funny name.
I just can't.
And they're just not going to take it serious.
And a
I
grumpy
just can't
brother
believe
on a
that-
Thursday didn't find it funny.
And I can't believe that I found a story, celebrating some work that the Democrats did, and I'm getting so much grief for it. I can't believe it.
Rico's trying to change his narrative.
I see what he's doing.
It's growth. We're going to allow it. Yeah.
I commend you on your blue story.
You guys love gaslighting me, and I see what you're trying to do there.
Yeah.
I was trying to get a rise out of me and everything, but it ain't gonna happen.
Trying to make you like the
I'm
yeast.
just saying, I am 100% for everything that this act is about.
Okay.
And
Didn't sound like
I
it.
love everything about it, but
Even the name?
better name, so we can actually get shit like this passed on a broader level.
So you think that
Okay,
the
wait.
name of the bill hinders its ability to get passed?
Hold one moment, because I've never had a problem passing a doobie, and I think that when they pass the doobie, it's fucking even better. Like, that's amazing, Rico.
Yeah, they're going to pass. Congress is going to pass
This
the
man
doobie
gets to
on the
say
floor
that
of
he
Congress.
passed the doobie in Congress, and I think that might be
That's
the
gonna be
point
a
of the
great
name.
headline.
But it's a great headline, and Rico, I hope you picked that story up.